Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. It's Career Mode episode 119. Giro d'Italia, stage 16. Pavel Rodriguez sits 4th place overall. We need a top 5, and he's been looking really good for possibly accomplishing that, but I am terrified of this stage, and not from the profile, from the race day condition. Gazzoli, our worst rider, has the best condition with a +4. Our best rider has the worst condition, Rodriguez, -3. He's sitting on about a -7 now for the race. Now, of course, he's not on any special conditions, so he should be sitting about 0. But to be 4th place overall in the race and have a -7 when he should be about neutral, the reality is he should be happy about the position he's in, and he actually should have picked up a couple bonus points. Right? This game does have, if you always look at the race day condition, your overall performance will often lead to a +1. It's only a +1, but it often leads to that. He hasn't had that happen. Also, the other terrifying part of how this stage is so far shaping up as we approach the highest elevation point of this Giro in all category climb. There are 29 riders in the breakaway, and they had 5.5 minutes a short while ago. It's at 4 minutes now, but that is a significant, very, very significant advantage that the breakaway holds. And it's not a breakaway of nobodies. Champazin, Trentadue, Conchi, Yates, Tullet, Matteo, Schlegel, Tentoni, Danny Martinez, Evenepoel, and Ciccone. 9 of those guys they listed there are serious contenders for the KOM and pretty dang good climbers. Before it's too late, please go get water one more time. That's awfully quick we went through that water. We got it down here, but it's a long stage, and that's gonna burn Gazzoli quite a bit. So far so good though on this climb. Okay, I'm really worried about this one being too much too strong, but it's early enough in the stage that Peloton's hurting. I mean, we need to slow this down because we got guys going backwards. This Peloton is yikes. It's shrinking a lot faster than I expected at the pace we're going, but it's the climb. It's the seriousness of the climb. We're about to hit 10% on the gradient, 16.3k, 2,600 meters, about an 8% average. It's not that it's that bad, but we were going uphill for a long time before this. Okay, we need some other things like for Mark and Costamelo and Killen. Killen's going out the back right now.
The breakaway is not to everybody's liking.
59 riders left. Gazzoli's about to go out the back. Oh, not slower. I hate when they do that. Johnson's having the same problem. There goes Carlos de Mello. Still 6k to go. And I really can't rely on any of these guys today. Rodriguez climbing well enough to stay up there, and he's doing okay. Energy. 5k to go. Gotta try to hang on here, guys. Just 44 left in the Peloton.
There's an attack in the group at the front.
Front group's breaking up near the top. And that's good. They still have 20 to 30 riders left in that group. They would win the stage and gain a lot of time, and that's not good. Those guys suddenly become contenders again. What we're counting on is the fact that we're eliminating contenders bit by bit. Okay, we're starting to see a big acceleration here with 3k to go. Mataway, okay. Not worried about these guys. They're just turning some pace. Okay, Ginn. It's 3K from the top. Johnson, Millar. They've recovered a bit. 2K to go. And this is not an attack for the stage. So we're okay. Alright, well, the big scare was this climb. Not as much the next climb. Peloton's shrinking. Definitely shrinking. And unfortunately, we're losing our guys over the top. Millar is gone. Ginn is gone. Johnson's going to make it. Johnson makes it over the top. 28 left in the peloton. Ginn and Millar may be close enough to do something, but also the breakaway opened up a much larger gap. Venepol Zeta is here. We haven't seen him at all. They're in the next group up the road. We'll catch those guys. Okay, let's get some water, Johnson.
We're into the last third of the race. We'll soon know the final outcome.
Group of 3. Okay, Rodriguez is nearly recovered now. That -3, it's going to hurt us again on this last climb. And then it's still uphill to the finish, and it's going to be high tempo. How bad is it, Rodriguez? 73 resistance, 81 mountain. Could be worse. Could definitely be worse for -3. Johnson, we're trying to let him recover right now. We're still descending. 28 riders. That group in front of us, we've pulled back 15 seconds. The front group, we've pulled back a minute and a half. Almost 2 minutes on them. Now it's over 2 minutes we've pulled back. So now that the descent is not quite as steep, we're making up some ground here. 4.5 minutes now. Okay, we've grown a little bit. Ginn and Millar are together. And they are the next group back, but that's a healthy gap. They've got 2:45. I do not think they're going to make it back up here. Especially at the pace we're going, because we're catching the riders in front of us. All right, Johnson. Protect. Sprint point coming up. Irrelevant sprint point, as there's still a big break and a big gap. 3:40 now, though, so we've pulled back, what, 3.5 minutes from the front riders on this descent. All right, here we go. This is steep. 12K, 11%. Johnson, gel right away. And Rodriguez will go a little harder. It's not going to be immediate because that was a long descent, but you can see we pull this group back. Now there's 16 riders off the front. Their gap down to 2:44. Rodriguez. Got to keep up with these guys. Lopez, Ricketts, Nalon. Okay, actually the leaders are behind us. That's good. Yermakov behind us. Bardet I'm not worried about. Latour. Not worried about these guys. Yermakov, that's the one we got to watch out for. Venepol we caught. 30 in this group now. We had picked up some riders, so some riders have been dropped. That's Hershey. He might go on the attack, but I'm not too worried about his position. Not too much anyway. Still 8K to go. Rivera on the attack.
A courageous rider is looking to break away.
Getting caught up. Oh, this is kind of one I'd love to attack on, but... Okay, things are changing all of a sudden. Pogacar, there's McNulty. Johnson getting dropped. Group is thinning out very rapidly. Johnson going out the back. 6.5K to go. And Rodriguez, you can see the fatigue factor really starting to settle in for him. He is struggling right now. Pogačar climbing too fast for him. I think he's going to lose some time today. Gel. 22 riders, and Rodriguez is starting to go backwards. This is not an attack or anything like that. This is not a mistake. This is Rodriguez not having the resistance or stamina. It's a long stage. His stamina is only a 69 today, and his resistance is only a 73. This is him just not being able to go, and he's lost a minute already.
Watch out! A team leader is falling
This is not even anywhere near the top 5 riders. This is Rodriguez only being able to climb at a very minor rate. Okay, we need to pick up the pace here and gain a little ground. We've recovered slightly. 1K to go to the top.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
We can recover again on the descent.
So it's noses downhill, which will allow the riders
So we
to
covered off a little bit of time there, but we are 550 down overall. But it's hard to know what that's to because we're not.
There are just 15
What do you call it?
kilometers
We are
left.
not at the front. Or the Peloton was not at the front.
Oh my! I can see a rider on
20K
the
to go.
tarmac.
Let's go and grab
Thank
some
goodness
water.
he looks fit to get back in the race.
Oh wait, stop going backwards. Jeez.
Attack by Simon Yates.
Okay, 15K to go. I've recovered.
There are
Yates
just
is at the
10
front
kilometers
still.
left.
So that the Peloton is not 6.5 minutes away. Ostamelo goes down. Got to ride tempo that I can make it for about 11K on. Or at least contribute.
Again, an attack is launched. The group has to break
4%.
apart. 5 kilometers to the finish line. Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Nobody else contributing right now. Good news is I can sit on if I go a little too hard. You can see I'm not really gaining much ground on Conchi. And I'm not dropping anybody. From our crashes.
This was a great day for him. Nobody could keep up with him. A
Mateo
rider is down.
Yermakov goes second.
The race
Holy
is run,
cow.
but the poor
McNulty
souls bringing up the
fifth.
rear continue
There's
across the line.
Tentoni.
It's a bit
Ends
of
up
a
in
knock for the
7th.
morale.
Pogačar, who rode me off his wheel, 8th. We missed the top 20 entirely. I should be on the same time as these guys. I think I'm close enough there. Paulus 10th. Bernal just 11th for him, so he actually does not have a very good day. I do lose some time to Soler and Sivakov and Hershey and Barrow. There's Ciccone, who we were behind. My group was just off 30th on the stage for Rodriguez. Oh, this one's going to hurt. That -3. Ouch, 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 ouch. And I mentioned this multiple times over the course of this race. We might have had a really, really good start to the race. We wore the jersey for a day. But the main thing is, this is not Rodriguez's objective. The Tour is. It's going to be easier to get a top 5 at the Tour when he's got a +2 or 3 every day. Here, he's averaging almost a... Well,
Now for the race
he's
highlights.
he's averaging a -1 almost. So he's been a bit unlucky. But even then, zeros or -1s, regardless, that's not the recipe for success. That's the recipe for a challenging race. So a top 5 is easier said than done under the circumstances. And today was the day that if he had the race day condition, if he was at a 0, I don't think he gets dropped there. We just straight got rode off the wheel when there was a lot of riders left. Mateo, we're not worried about that. 20 seconds we don't worry about. Yermakov gains a ton of time. That's going to hurt. But I wasn't really necessarily riding against Bernal or McNulty or Yermakov. Those three probably have the podium locked up. What we worry about is everyone behind us. And the ones behind us, the contenders, Bernal was 205 down. The contenders start somewhere around 205, 219, 304. Those are the guys we're worried about. And where did we finish? 618? 631. That's a lot of time that we lost. We're out of the top 5. So Yermakov pulling away from Bernal now. McNulty, huge gap to those three. 640, Sivakov, Soler, and then us at 832. 2 minutes behind these guys. 2 minutes behind that we're going to have to make up on one or the other or both. Time trialing, Sivakov's in 82. He was the one who won the stage earlier, right? And we took second on that time trialing stage. Soler is a little easier to reach in the fact that he's not as good of a time trialist. They're both great climbers. I mean, even Hershey is only a half minute behind us. He very well could be on a fitness peak the way he's been riding in this race. However, he's been in the breakaway again and again. And I bet you if I tried to go in the break, they probably wouldn't let me. I don't know, 8.5 minutes. Yermakov might let me go in the break. It's possible. We can think about it. That might be an option. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but those gaps are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Dang, this is a tough race. That -3 hurt. That -3 really hurt. But we'll do what we can. It's not over yet. Top 5 still in reach. Podium's out of reach. Those challenges I knew we would face in this race have really come to fruition. I knew that there would be days where Rodriguez would have negative race day conditions. The thing about having, say, a +3, +4 base is even on a bad day, probably looking at about a 0, maybe a -1. A -3 day is absolutely killer on an ALS category climb day. A large, lengthy, hard Cat 1 just after it. And when your team is just getting at that level where we would destroy Continental Pro, and we were the last couple seasons, but World Tour, Grand Tour, the best we have doesn't quite compete with the best that they have. Peloton's already losing a few riders out the back here on this one. This is definitely not as bad. It's kind of a poor man's stage 13, which is where we first really started to lose time. We've had 2 bad stages. We had negative race day conditions on both of those, I think. The first one, I'm not sure it was we had a bad race day condition. I just don't think we had any rider support late in that one. And I pushed a little too hard trying to keep up with those top guys instead of accepting the fact that we definitely aren't the best here. In terms of pure climbing, we're about 5th, but our resistance isn't that high, and we don't often have 2 or 3 guys left late on. Right now, though, we've got everyone here, so we're doing okay. This Cat 3, it's actually pretty steep. It's 8%, but it's 6K. That's almost Cat 2 category rating. It's very close. Let's go ahead and start gelling up for a couple of these guys. Gazzoli's not doing too well today. Carlos de Melo's not doing too well today. He's on a -1. Millar is hanging in there, but he's a better climber than these guys. Vermark's on a +2, so he's hanging in there for now.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate
This
the fact that
Peloton
there
is
a
definitely
breakaway,
going to get
given that
smaller.
the pack has increased
Big
its speed.
breakaway today. Killen, yeah, he's doing okay. He's okay. Millar, that's the top. He's going to get a chance to recover, maybe. Maybe. It's false flat. We're not going down yet. Mark's going to make it. He'll recover a bit. Millar looks like he is going to make it, but will he recover at all? Will he get a chance to even make it back towards the front? 40K to go, and we do need water. Who's going to be the one to get it? David Killen. Rodriguez +1 today. Hopefully we can bounce back a little bit. Millar struggling to stay. Yeah, I don't think he's going to recover at all. Ooh, actually, he lost contact. All of a sudden, there's just 40 in the Peloton. Oh, they sat up all of a sudden, though. 3:44 to the break. Might have a chance to win something today. Killen still has not finished his water task. Now he does. And now we reset the group. Alright, that was the harder part of the climb before the climb. It's not too bad now. Vermark is nearly done. Johnson, you need to recover and get behind Rodriguez. Okay, and you're going to need to recover a little bit too. So his final climb is going to be steep and fast. This might be a sprint train scenario. Still 19 off the front. Plus one man in no man's land.
There's an attack in the group at the front. The riders are entering the last 15 kilometers of the stage.
Bring them back. Last 19. They still have a 250 gap. It was at 3 a while ago. Hershey goes on the attack. Alright, you know what? Today's the day. We've gained some time before. I feel a little bit better about today than the previous stages. We're not going to just let Hershey take off and gain a ton of time. It looks like other guys. Rivera going again. Soler, yeah. Soler's right behind us in the standings now.
The pace seems much too high for many riders.
Killen done. 14K to go still. Peloton down to 22. Did we split that? I think we did. Down to 19. That was 40 a moment ago, wasn't it? Did we drop 16? Yeah, Vermark. We dropped half the Peloton. And we caught those guys. 21 now, chasing 19.
And they keep on attacking. Anyone that's low on gas definitely won't be able to keep up.
Okay, again, now to lead out Rodriguez. Rodriguez is looking good. We'll set a steady tempo here, and then Rodriguez is going to have to try to finish this thing off himself. I think Breakaway is going to hang on for the stage victory. 8.5K to go. First part of the climb, and then it's going to flatten out. And then, for me, the real climb is just the last, 3 kilometers?
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
Okay, Rodriguez, gel up, and Rodriguez, attack. Okay, we climb from here. We've gone off the front. 4K to go. What kind of pace can we climb at? We're picking these guys off one by one, and we definitely have a gap. 3.5K to go. It's a steep 3.5K though. Gel kicks in. We don't have a ton of energy left. 3K. Today's the aggressive move. McNulty now attacks. Catch another rider. Pass up another rider. And now we're going to sit on with him for a second. We do not have the energy. 2K to go. There we go, McNulty. Can we keep up with McNulty?
There goes the sprint. The
Can
strong
we
men
tag
are giving
along?
their all.
Not quite. Here comes Bernal. Oh,
Fabulous.
sorry,
He got the
Yermakov.
better of his breakaway companions to win this
Coming
race.
up on the finish, though. Coming up on the finish. I think we will gain time over some riders, but here goes the top 3, leaving me in the dust. But can we be 4th best on the day? Please, oh please, don't everybody else come back at me.
The riders
Shampison
bringing
takes
up
the
the rear
stage.
have made it through
Sheeran,
sheer
Mataway,
willpower. This stage was a
Evenepoel
real
5th.
strength sapper.
Guys in the top 10 keep gaining time. This group just came back to me, so I'm not going to gain time over these guys. There's Yates, Valter, and Soler. There's Hershey. Basically 4th on the day, on those that matter. However, I didn't really gain time over the nearest competitors. They ended up coming right back at me at the end of this one. But we didn't lose time either. It's not riders that it mattered on. Podium positions are gone. It's fine that I lose time to those 3. It's the battle for 4th and 5th. And they didn't care when I attacked. That is good to know. I'm still thinking about in one of these couple stages to come. Stage 18, I believe, is the final sprint stage, so we'll be on to stage
And here are the race
19
highlights that we've selected
for the next
you.
episode. So we'll have 2 more climbing stages and then a time trial left in this race. Opportunities are running out. 422, McNulty, Bernal, just a little bit up the road, not too far off from them, and Yermakov. But we do lose 4 minutes to Evenepoel, 3 minutes to Martinez and Trentadue, and those guys were all not that far behind me in the standings, but they're all riding in the break. And that's what I'm thinking maybe I'm going to need to do, but we'll see. Yermakov, 2 minutes ahead of Bernal, 2:40 ahead of McNulty, and then this is our group that matters. Soler, 7:43, Sivakov, 9:22. I'm just 7 seconds behind Sivakov. I'd say that's great with stage 21 still to come, except Sivakov is the best time trialist here. So the advantage is over Soler, not Sivakov. Still 6th, but only 7 seconds outside of the top 5. Hershey, still just half a minute behind. Rubio at 11:47. Shampison gained time again today. He's into the top 10 now, 9th place. Simon Yates is 3 seconds behind him. Those guys are picking up time. Rivera's picking up time. And I'm only a few minutes ahead of them. And we've lost 4 minutes on one stage. We had that -3. It could happen again. So thing's not over yet. Ahead of us or behind us. There's a lot of racing yet to do. Top 5, possible. I think we need to be closer to Soler after stage 20 if we're going to beat him on stage 21, if he's the pathway to the top 5. And right now it's looking like Soler's the pathway to the top 5. Unless one of those 5 crash out to beat them on merit. Sivakov, I don't know how we're going to beat him on the time trial. Again, no race day condition bonuses for me. So I need Soler to have a bad day. And I definitely can't afford any more bad days. 19 is going to be tough, but we'll have our full team at the end. And 20 is going to be pretty brutal. That's one where riders can lose a lot of time, including us. And 21 is just too short to have too much of an impact. 16K. There will be time gains. We'll gain at least a half minute on Soler, but I don't know if we'll gain a minute. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.